recognizes the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. O'Boyle, have you publicly shared what you discussed with Chairman Jordan's staff before today? It says yes or no.
Did I publicly do what?
Share, like.
With whom?
With the public.
About which part of my testimony?
Any of your testimony, sir, that you shared with Jordan's staff, have you shared that with the public or this committee? It's a yes or no, sir. It's really not that hard.
I don't believe so.
You don't believe that, so okay. And during your transcribed interview on February 10th, did you explain to the committee counsel the content of what you had previously shared with Chairman Jordan's staff?
To some degree, regarding the questions that were asked on that day.
To some degree, is that, so that is a yes?
Yes, to some degree.
Okay, but you shared it only with the lawyers.
Mr. Gates was present for part of that testimony as well.
Okay. So the only people who know the wrongdoing you claim to have uncovered at the FBI, to your knowledge, are Chairman Jordan's staff, Congressman Estes, and maybe now Congressman Gates?
I also shared some of my disclosures with my chain of command prior to coming to Congress.
No, I'm talking about your testimony here today in this committee.
Right, that includes some of what I had provided to my chain of command as well.
Well, that's not the question. So the FBI has said that it cannot comment on ongoing adjudication matters. Do you know if your security clearance suspension decision is still under adjudication with the FBI?
Oddly enough, I received an email last week from the FBI attempting to schedule an interview with me for tomorrow, which I find is no coincidence heading into the hearing today. But prior to that email... So
it's still being adjudicated, the answer is yes.
Prior to that email, I had not.
All right, so it's still being adjudicated, but in her April 24th transcribed interview, Executive Assistant Director Moore told us that when Mr. Jordan's counsel asked you about your case, that she, quote, is not allowed to discuss any ongoing security investigations, so you're still being investigated. So neither you nor the FBI can help us understand what information you shared and when you shared it.
Well, I have provided that information to members of this subcommittee who I believe will take it
well,
seriously.
No, you've submitted it to the chairman and the committee's staff. But as you've been hearing this morning, a lot of that, most of that, we have not seen as Democrats. It's not been shared. It's not been shared pursuant to the laws, our rules. It's not been shared just even in keeping with a notion of fairness. You know, in any proceeding like this.
Well, in notion of fairness, you claim that we aren't whistleblowers.
We don't know what was disclosed. The committee counsel hasn't had the opportunity to assess the information you shared with Jim Jordan's staff. Yet here we are hearing on the matter. There's been no transparency, no real effort to inform. It's just a partisan political stunt that is more interested in attacking the FBI than helping whistleblowers. In Texas, we would just say that this is just a lot of hot air blowing here, and it ain't a whistleblower. By having this hearing before the majority makes even basic information about your claims available to us, Chairman Jordan is doing us all a disfavor. We're meeting without knowing. In his opening remarks, he said that he had brought you here to have you tell us what you have seen and what you had witnessed. Yet, we really still don't know because you haven't told us anything. I went through your whole witness statement, and there's nothing in there about what you saw or what you heard.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's just a bio
and
your political statements. I read the whole thing, sir.
That's false.
So by having this hearing before us today, the majority makes even basic information about your claims not available to us. So Chairman Jordan is just doing us all a disservice. He's doing the minority a disservice by not allowing us to vet your claims, to be able to adequately ask you questions. Frankly, he's doing you a disservice, sir, by all the lights and cameras before his claims have even been examined. More than that, this hearing is an insult to the brave whistleblowers out there who do risk their careers for the good of their country. This circus of embedded secret accusations puts at risk the critical role whistleblowers play in holding the powerful accountable. Most whistleblowers aren't interested in being political pawns in congressional Republicans' games. Playing politics is holding up this scheme as whistleblowers will make other public servants fearful of coming forward out of fear they'll just be used. Whistleblowers serve an important purpose in this country. They're often brave individuals who help root out corruption and make our democracy stronger. In fact, just this last February, whistleblowers who have been fired by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton in retaliation for accusing him of crimes came to a settlement with the Attorney General.
Time of the gentlelady's expired.
Mr. Chairman.
He had to settle for
gentlelady's
$3.3
expired.
million.
Chair now
Because he
recognizes.
wanted to make sure some information
Chair now
didn't get out.
recognizes the gentleman from
That's what
California.
whistleblowers do.
The gentlelady, this is my time. I've been recognized. Thank you. Mr. Arborio.